Imagine that you're sitting here right now editing the latest video, but you suddenly feel this wave of self-doubt. You don't know if you're good enough, maybe everyone is laughing behind your back. Who are you to be taken seriously after all? I feel that every creator has self-doubt. Especially with new ones, since nobody really watching us, let's be honest. I felt especially when I wrote my first book back in April. Halfway through in this very intense writing process, I felt this wave. It felt like it was some kind of an ice bath surrounded by fog, and everything around me looked so bleak and meaningless. It was like trying to run a marathon where you're in quicksand. To be honest, I still feel it quite often, especially when writing scripts. I imagine myself looking at myself with a smirk. And the funny thing is that the better and more productive I become, the more self-doubt I feel, because all these decisions and these fork roads are getting closer and closer, and I need to decide all the hard decisions much faster. But thankfully I learned to cope with self-doubt and move forward anyway. I'm publishing these videos every day, or at least every other day. So if you are dealing with self-doubt, imposter syndrome, or general nervousness at the moment, which you probably are, I'll share the 4 principles that help me go through the trials, and hopefully will help you too. There's this quote from David Foster Wallace that's really worth reminding to ourselves every day. You stop caring what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do. That's so true if you think about it. I mean, every single day, every single minute, every single second, we construct a story of our lives in which we are the ultimate character, the ultimate hero, and everyone else is just playing on the side, you know what I mean? But guess what? Our audience think that too. And we're just some pixels on the screen for them. And we can interpret this in 2 different ways. Either we can be depressed that no one is paying attention to us, or we can be liberated, knowing that we can just goof around, make mistakes, fail spectacularly on stage without being humiliated, because everyone is just consumed by their own thoughts. I remember 5 years ago in my last day of music high school, when we were supposed to host our own 30-minute concerts, playing for roughly 100 or even 200 people. This is the ultimate highlight of all these 3 years spent there, and really defined whether you were good at music or good at anything, to be honest. It felt like it. So of course there were a lot of rehearsals and a little bit of nervousness too. Then came the day, and overall it went pretty smooth. But it was during my 3rd song, Scuttlebutting by Stevie Ray Vaughan, that I totally messed up. My timing was off and it was overall not pleasant to listen to at all. And of course I was embarrassed afterwards, thinking that everyone would like belittle me or look down on me or anything for failing such spectacularly on stage. But what actually happened was the opposite. People were impressed by the overall performance and did not even mention this song. So if you see a particular mistake you did as an ultimate catastrophe, chances are that the audience doesn't see it that way. All the horrible punishments you imagine might not even exist in reality. The only one that's disappointed is only you. In one of the oldest texts we have, Bhagavad Gita, there is this following line. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. And at first it might sound depressing, like I'm not allowed to enjoy reward, but need to be endlessly tortured day in, day out. Or maybe these prescribed duties are the ones that are most meaningful, the most valuable and within our control. According to Seth Godin, best-selling author of 19 books and a blog for 20 years, the second option is to be the case. In his book The Practice, a must-read for all new creators by the way, he mentioned that the practice is the reward. The praise, the money, the influence will not be nearly as fulfilling just showing up day after day after day. And as I spent more than 1 year making articles and videos, I can certainly say that it's the case. There's this magic of knowing what to do next and discovering all the possibilities and seeing video after video being completed. These small wins keep me going, knowing that we get better and better for every hour. Because remember, as new creators, the process is all we have and not the rewards yet. So if you cannot enjoy the process now, it's going to be very unsustainable putting in these 10,000 something hours later on. And even if you do reach that level, the reward still comes and goes. My greatest idol and $100 million entrepreneur Alex Hormozi spent his first year becoming excellent at sales, marketing and fitness. And then after some unlucky turn of events, he lost all the money he had gained. I mean, think about it. Imagine everything you do for the next 5 years and all of a sudden back to square one. Almost like somebody deleted your channel and videos and anything. But despite how demoralizing it was in the moment, Alex still had the skills, character traits and beliefs that helped him quickly explode with his new business. So no one can take away your knowledge and your ability to get better. And every time you feel this wave of self-doubt, know that everything you learn will stay with you forever and compound. If you think about it, everything in life can be boiled down to how you feel. This hollowness and shakiness in your chest area and stomach when you're scared, the heavy weight or procrastination in your neck, the nauseous feeling in your head whenever you're distracted, all of these. And when it comes to how to deal with these physical sensations, I've only found two options that we have. Either we don't like them, want to deny their existence, sort of hide in our own bubble or comfort zone, or we can start to like them and pay more attention. And every single time I found myself distracted, procrastinating, or overall feel unhappy where I am right now, it all came down to the simple fact that I wanted to avoid how I felt. The shiny object presented an escape, a temporary safe haven from this self-made tensions that just accumulated and accumulated because of that. But if you start to like this feeling instead, welcome it in our world as just a way of life. There's no reason to switch, no reason to tense, no reason to escape, no reason to wish for anything else. At least for me, I've noticed my greatest breakthroughs and jumps, literally jumps in well-being. They all came from me when I stopped escaping from what I felt and started to really like it, giving it all my attention as it was. And after a while you can describe it for yourself, you can describe the feeling to someone else. Like the heavy weight on your face that twists anything, the shakiness in your feet. And now you can use that to do what you want, all by being relaxed. I have never found a practice so powerful than this. It's almost 2,000 years old, advocated from famous entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss and Ryan Holiday to stoics like the world's richest man at the time, Seneca. Premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization, is a simple exercise of taking all worries and all fears to the natural conclusion, to the natural extremes. And then we see how goofy they actually are and do no longer need to doubt ourselves. And let's try it now. Let's imagine that everything you fear as a new creator actually happens. Almost nobody watches your stuff, and the few who do hate you in the comments, and you even cancel but don't know why. You're the cancelled black sheep in your family and no longer have any friends. And because of your horrible reputation, you lose every professional job you have and people gossip behind your back. You're in intense pain, especially in your chest, unable to do anything about it but just wither away in the sidelines, in the valley of despair. Then you discover two things. One, that you can actually handle it. You're imagining it right now, so you're able to go through it much better anyway. And through the power of this imaginary exposure therapy, there is no mystery but just a pure feeling of acceptance. The other is a sense of relief. You know that it's not going to be any worse than this, and you can already visualize it in detail. Everything else is just upside. And I'll assume that you never need to encounter the worst possible scenario, and even if you do need that, the unlikely happening that occurs, you're much better prepared now. And remember that people are mostly thinking about themselves after all. So as long as you obsess over the journey and not the destination, accept the feelings of self-doubt and the worst scenario imagined, you can move forward in your creative path with self-doubt not having power over you.